나처럼 groovy하게 나처럼 groovy하게.
While there isn't really an official cutoff between generations of K-pop, and I feel like we're still in a transitional phase between K-pop generations, I thought it would still be fun to predict groups who I think will represent the future of K-pop. I picked my top 10 newer groups and split them into two categories: the safe bets for groups who I'm confident will be big in the future, and the wild cards, who I believe have the talent to succeed, but I can't guarantee success for. There were three criteria I used when picking groups. They have to have debuted in 2018 or later. Not saying that this is an official cutoff for the fourth generation, but I wanted to define how new a group should be. They can't be temporary groups, since this video is meant to predict success over a long period of time, and they have to have had at least 3 promotional releases so that I have enough content to get an idea of their sound. Without further ado, let's get started. Itzy are already an incredibly successful group, and I'm confident that their popularity will only continue to grow further into their careers. They have almost 30 music show wins with only 3 title tracks. All of their music videos have over 100 million views, and they are consistently comparing with popular groups in terms of streaming and sales. Itzy have established a style that distinguishes them from other contemporaries, and as long as the public doesn't get bored of that style, I foresee them being incredibly successful. I have faith that JYP Entertainment can take them to the same heights that they've done with Twice, because they also have a strong marketing team behind them. TXT is another group that has also had immense success right off the bat, and from a creative standpoint, I think Big Hit is doing a great job of managing them, since their music videos do a great job of conveying stories. Being the little brothers of BTS is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it gives them more publicity, but on the other, it brings about constant comparison, even in situations where it's not warranted, so hopefully they'll be able to distinguish themselves as a group further in the future. Beyond this, I think TXT's biggest selling point is the stories they've told within their music videos, but I do believe that as they continue to grow as artists, they'll either be able to develop their own distinct style of music, or find a way to master versatility in a way that still manages to make their sound not seem discontinuous. Based on what I've seen so far, I don't think they'll ever be the biggest group in K-pop, but I can see them consistently being one of the most popular groups and sustaining a large fan base throughout their careers. (G)I-DLE is another group in this category which has had all eyes on them since debut. They're a group that consistently knows how to give good performances, and I feel like they've been starting to settle in on a particular style with their last few releases. One of the reasons why I believe (G)I-DLE will be able to sustain themselves in the long run is because of Soyeon's composing. Cube isn't the best company for giving their idols consistent comebacks, but since they're a group that will take the initiative to make music releases happen by making the songs themselves, I feel like they'll be able to continue to have regular comebacks and stay relevant in the public eye. Despite coming from a big 3 company, success definitely hasn't been handed to Stray Kids, as many of their songs haven't charted as well as groups like Twice and ITZY. Not to call them unsuccessful, they definitely have a solid fan base, especially internationally, but as of now they're not a top group. However, I do have a feeling that Stray Kids is going to explode in popularity in the future, especially after third-generation boy groups go on military hiatus. Like with (G)I-DLE, I think they're going to be able to consistently satisfy fans with music releases due to their ability to self-produce music. What I personally love about their music is that they're able to make a statement about a variety of issues such as corruption and mental health without making it feel forced or gimmicky. You can tell how much effort they and their creative teams put in making videos that form to connect a story, which will be a big benefit for them in the future. If there's one group which I truly think will reign over the fourth generation of K-pop, it would definitely have to be ateez. ateez has incredible stage presence, which no other rookie group I've seen can really compare to, and I'm saying this as a bigger fan of other groups on this list. They just have this aura of confidence and maturity in their live stages, and their choreography is impeccable. They found a way to maintain a distinct style of music without sounding formulaic, which is something I think will also take them far in the future. I'm usually hesitant about placing groups from small companies as safe bets for success, but ateez has so much talent that I really think that they'll be able to break through in this industry, and their entertainment company has done a great job of managing them so far. Loona has one of the most creative concepts in K-pop. While their pre-debut project may not have garnered the attention their company was hoping for in Korea, they've built a large international fan base through their solo and subunit promotions, versatile concepts, and of course, their intricate Loonaverse. My biggest concern for Loona, though, and this is the reason I didn't include them in my safe bets, is that their management isn't promoting them to the extent they need. Loona's management seems focused on garnering them more of an audience in Korea, which is understandable, and this strategy has been working to an extent since they recently had their first win. However, since they do have a large international fan base, I don't see why their company isn't trying to capitalize off of this more, though, through international promotions aside from the standard K-Con appearances. Their comebacks have also been extremely limited. After their official debut, they've only been releasing one promotional group song a year, which quite frankly isn't enough for them to gain exposure as rookies. Also, the whole Girl of the Month idea is what makes Loona stand out, but since their debut they haven't released anything as solos or subunits. I believe this is being done so that the public gets to know Loona as a group, which again makes sense, but what makes Loona unique is that each of the members have their own unique styles of music, and that just isn't really reflected in their latest releases. ONEUS has the sound, style, and talent to be big. Each of their releases has managed to impress me so far, and they continue to grow as performers with each comeback. I guess my only real concern for them again would have to be management. Their company did a phenomenal job managing Mamamoo, and I think they have the capability to bring ONEUS to similar heights, but unfortunately with small companies there's just never a guarantee of success for their groups. Everglow has had one of the most successful debuts of 2019, and have already garnered a large fan base. Their sound definitely appeals to international audiences, and their music video views indicate that a lot of people are interested in their style. However, I have a few concerns regarding this group. The first is that their views don't quite translate into things like physical sales and concert sales. While they still do have a considerable amount of people buying their merch, it's not as many as you would presume when looking at their massive streaming numbers. Views are important, but it's not as profitable as other forms of revenue for a company. My other concern is that they should be able to adapt to changes within the industry. When Dun Dun came out, a lot of people complained that it sounded similar to their previous releases. Hopefully they'll be able to find a way to modify their sound without completely changing their image, especially in case the girl crush trend dies down in K-pop. So far, Cherry Bullet have an amazing discography, and I really hope they keep it up in the future. There's a sense of freshness to all their releases, and their bright, colorful game concept is something that distinguishes them from other groups. However, they lost 3 members only a few months after debut, which is kind of a red flag. While FNC has some really successful groups, they definitely don't have the type of pull that a YG or a JYP have in attracting fans to newer groups, especially since their most popular groups are bands. So the promotions for Cherry Bullet are particularly important. It took N-Flying and SF9 a long time to start to get proper recognition for their music, and I'm guessing the same will happen to Cherry Bullet unless FNC steps up their marketing strategies. Yeah, so at this point I feel like you guys get the importance of good management. Jellyfish has definitely concerned me as a company after seeing their management of Guguran. It's been almost 2 years and there's still no sign of a comeback for them. I think Very Very have great songs and good presence so far, but I don't know if that will be enough to make them stand out without a good management team behind them. VIXX definitely had good songs, but what truly made them stand out as a group were their concepts. And while Very Very have had some interesting music videos, it's definitely not as eye-catching as any of VIXX's releases. Hopefully Jellyfish will be able to step up their marketing. At this point, I feel like it's too early to say if they'll be able to reach the same level of success that VIXX did, but I feel like with the right management, they may be able to. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to let me know who you think will own the 4th generation of K-pop down below.